Good morning, dear Dharma friends. Well, I am and everything else that's said is a lie. I am.
Robert, you're not connected.
Hang on, I couldn't hear that. I'm not into my straitjacket here. Wait,
I was just telling you you're not connected to
I'm not.
Facebook.
I'm not. That's interesting.
Oh, well, that it didn't come on for us. You know where it says you're now being recorded?
Oh, that's different. That's recording here, but I'm not recording. I'll do that.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
The Facebook and YouTube thing is a different thing. It's going, I think. It says it's going. Well, hi. I am Robert Beatty, or so I've been told a lot. So much that I actually believe it. This is a broadcast of the Portland Insight Meditation Community. If you want more information about PIMC, there's a ton at portlandinsight.org. And about me, there's a lot at robertbeatty.com. This will be my last morning doing this for a couple of weeks. I'm going off to teach a retreat in Canada at Hollyhock. This is either my 26th or 27th year going there. I missed last year, and there was one other year that I missed. So I'm one of the old timers. Funny. I have a very short poem this morning. I had a very short poem. It was so short I lost it completely. It's a poem from Michael White from the collection Where Many Rivers Meet.
David White.
Is it David White? Can't be. It says Michael White here. You're probably.
Then it's not many rivers.
Well, I stand corrected. It's David White. Yay! All right, you ready? Enough. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here. This opening to the life we have refused again and again until now. Until now. Enough. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here. This opening to the life we have refused again and again until now. Until now. This approach to waking up is old, 20 having trouble with my cable. Yeah. At least 2,600 years since the time of the Buddha, which of course in terms of geological time is nothing. Even in human time, it's not very much. And so what is it? What's the foundation? What undergirds our practice? I could take these off. I take refuge in being awake. I take refuge in the way things actually are. Autumn is coming. It's different on my commute from my house to my little house in the backyard. The sun has moved a long way south already. It would be foolish to fight it, wouldn't it? To say, it shouldn't be this season. I want it to be springtime. The plants would all be so confused. No, I think we'd be confused. I take refuge in the Dharma, in the way things actually are. And I practice with my friends. I practice in the memory of and support of a long lineage. Most recently, Lady Sayadaw U Ba Khin and Ruth Denison. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And this isn't something we do once or once a day. It actually is the essence of the practice. All day waking up. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of mindful harmony. Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge in the Sangha. The Sangha of our human friends and our animal friends. The Sangha of the birds in the air and the worms underground. The Sangha of all life. and to be reminded of these beautiful words of Ruth King. If I didn't belong to you, I wouldn't be here. If you didn't belong to me, you wouldn't have come. My heart and your heart are very old friends. So let us, please, my friends, do something very old. Let us take a comfortable upright posture. I think this sitting predates the Buddha by thousands of years. In my early 20s, I had the privilege of being in Australia in the outback. And there was a fire, as there's always fires there. And I was put in charge of 10 Aboriginal men and a 500-gallon pumper truck, water. And these men had been raised in the old way. They didn't read. They didn't know what to do with money. They were very confused about money still. And at any rate, I would watch them and they would go and sit somewhere upright. Their eyes were open. The flies would come and be all over them. They would sit there and they would sit for an hour or two or longer. They'd just park. If I made the slightest move to approach them from 100 feet away, they would turn quietly and look at me. I didn't know what to make of it at the time. Still not sure. But I think when they sat there, they returned to the never, never. I think they were at one with the world. They never learned abstraction like reading. Very interesting. So like them or like the Buddha, we sit here comfortably upright, at one with the world. And let's notice that the body breathes. It breathes in, and then it breathes out. And we don't need to do this. It does itself, doesn't it? And such a simple practice. Come home to the actuality of in-breathing and out-breathing. Not to a concept of it, not to some word description of it, not to an imagination of it, but actually the sensation of breathing in and breathing out. There may well be thoughts. It's the mind's job, the thinking mind's job, to create thoughts. It does it very efficiently. And let's not start a war or continue a war with thoughts. Why not instead just notice, oh, there's thoughts. Happy thoughts, unhappy thoughts. Joyous thoughts, depressed thoughts. Noticing perhaps that most of these thoughts are on a theme that has I, me, mine in them. I like this, I don't like that. This is my opinion about that. I like this, I don't like that. And instead of that incessant thinking, let us inhabit in breathing and out breathing. There is some clarity of intention that can help us. I intend to be awake. I intend to be mindful. I intend to take in-breathing and out-breathing as my concentration objects, as my home base. I intend to the best of my ability, disentangle from the web of emotions, of thoughts, though without rancor, without violence. And so there's a targeting, in a way, initial application, where awareness finds the sensations of breathing in and breathing out. And then there's a continued or sustained application from the very beginning most intention of breathing in, through rising, to changing direction, to falling, to disappearing. When we are having difficulty even finding the breath, it's so useful to remember the 5 hindrances. The mind might be busy wanting something, craving, desiring, lusting after something. Or it might be oppositional to something, aversion, disliking. Or it might be lost in restlessness, agitation, worry, or remorse, jumping from one thought to another. Or its energy might be low, and there might be a tendency to sloth and torpor. Falling out the bottom, sort of consciousness. Or there could be attacks of doubt. Why am I doing this? Or it's a strong demotivator. If this were working, I wouldn't feel so bad, or I wouldn't be sick, or there could be strong emotions. Or we could be keeping track of the environment around us. If there were some threat or some imagined threat. Noticing the 5 hindrances, and if they persist, then persist in noticing them. They're just as good an object as anything else to observe the truth of impermanence with, the truth of dukkha with, the truth of anatta, not self, with. So we are breath by breath setting ourselves free. Noticing how each breath has its moment of beginning. And how the moment of beginning is over before it reaches fullness. It's over the moment it happens. And the moment of fullness is over long before the end of the breath. And in fact, this is true of every experience. The Buddha's teachings have a lot of gardening metaphors, a lot of growing. The word meditation comes from the word bhavana, which means to cultivate. We are cultivating mindfulness. We're cultivating concentration. We are cultivating patience. We are cultivating tranquility. We are practicing, cultivating love. I aspire to love and accept myself, exactly as I am in this moment, now. And should I discover myself to be hurting, to be suffering, to be experiencing dukkha, I intend to hold myself in sweet compassion. When I encounter others who are acting badly, who are lost in the throes of greed, hatred, and delusion, I aspire to hold them too in sweet compassion. Maybe to hold them responsible, to require change, but to come at it from a place of compassion, recognizing how vulnerable we are all to greed, hatred, and ignorance. If the mind is very restless, there are some strategies we can use that are very helpful. Add a mantra. On the in-breath, may I be happy. On the out-breath, may all beings be happy. Or may I be peaceful, may all beings be peaceful. Or whatever you would like. Another strategy is to count the breaths. On the in-breath 1, on the out-breath 2, up to 10, and then start over. And yet another on the in-breath, breathing in with the intention, calming the mind. With the out-breath, calming the body. Or calm mind, calm body. Doing these practices can emphasize tranquility. We cultivate tranquility. We cultivate the pleasure of tranquility, and don't hesitate. When pleasure comes along in meditation, don't hesitate to bask in it. Meditation can undercut the entirety of the world of grasping after things and experiences. And please now let us take note. What is the energetic, emotional state now? And how does it compare or contrast with where we began? It's useful to know when mindfulness is present, when kindness is present. It's useful to know when the mind is concentrated. This is a concentrated mind. And let us become aware of the places where the body touches the chair, the furniture, the floor. Aware of the life in the hands. So alive. The life in the arms and the chest and the heart area. The life of the jaw and the chin and the cheeks. The life of the nose and the eyes. And now let us notice the intention to open the eyes, and then let that happen, let that operationalize. Make the effort to raise the eyelids. Something you've done tens of thousands of times unconsciously. Now we do it with intention and consciously. And then we can watch what happens. We can know what happens. We can be mindful of seeing. Seeing, and then we have the objects of seeing, which in this case is each other. If you did not belong to me, I wouldn't have come. If you didn't belong to me, you wouldn't be here. My heart and your heart are very old friends. Vic, your dog is very intent. Oh, not anymore. So much for that. Oh. I'm going to be away for a little while, and I want to thank you all for being so diligent and willing to practice, to come together in the mornings like this and to support each other, Sangha. It's important. Important for me. I also want to thank you for the generous support that's been coming in on the fundraising campaign for the building project and for the ongoing expenses of PIMC, for your participation in that. I'm reminded that Candle's women's support group for those who identify as women or non-binary, the information for that is on the website, and a marvelous thing to do with Candle. Jim is teaching Qigong this Saturday. And there will be marvelous marvelous teachers, marvelous human beings who will come and, well, from their own homes, they will sit in this Dharma seat on the mornings that I shall be absent. And I hope you will come and support them and support each other. Anything else I should mention or we should mention, Jim?
Well, there's a reminder about Doug's class starting.
Oh, yeah.
Basics of Mindfulness on the 30th of September.
Right.
And we won't be having, well, we didn't have the first Saturday retreats. We're going to keep those on hiatus until we have a building to gather in. But that's about it. Everything else is, I don't see any notice of Gregory starting up again on Wednesday. But
no,
I'll be on tonight, and Doug will have his regular Thursday night group. I'm going to have to leave. I put the David White thing in the chat, but I found another one is has a different title, but it's another David White poem that kind of goes with it.
Thank you.
I bid you adieu. I'm going off to class. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow morning.
Not me.
Well, some of you. I'll be thinking of you.
I'll be on the plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Or I hope I will be. I haven't got my COVID test back yet.
It'll work.
Hope so.
Take care.
See you, Jim. So, dear friends,
Robert.
I hear a voice.
Hi, it's Joy.
It's Joy.
over here.
Hi, Joy.
Hi. So I just came back from Hollyhock. I know it was very nice. I just wanted to mention we buried my mother's ashes by the pond, which is in the forest.
Yeah, up by Kayakum.
Yeah, and there's a Buddha there, a statue of a Buddha, and a little bridge, and then she is close to that. So she'll always be at Hollyhock, which was a place she went to quite a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention Hollyhock is good. The garden is profuse. There's lots of vegetarian meals. I think you're going into quite a rainy season.
Yeah.
So
I will visit your mother's grave.
Oh, could you do that? Just
of course.
You know where the pond is.
I certainly do. Up by Kayakum.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I commonly I walk through there on my little solo journeys. So,
which place do you stay in? Do they put you?
They put me in gingerbread usually.
Oh yeah.
My favorite is Pago's.
Oh right.
There's that little. I love that little house, but that's kind of elite living. So I've only been in there a few times, but I like it.
Yeah. We stayed at the beach house, which is
Oh,
on the beach.
yeah, that's nice too.
So we heard the waves rolling in, and there was a warm day, so I was able to swim in the ocean, which is
Oh.
always a fabulous experience
Yeah.
to really engage. So when you're there, you really engage with trees and water,
It's a
um,
fabulous place.
and the people were nice. I met very interesting. The people who go there always are very thoughtful.
Hmm.
They're thinking about their thoughtful thoughts.
Hmm.
So, and the staff was really kind that they supported our memorial.
Mm. Wonderful.
But then someone said that they had scattered their father's ashes on the pond, and so my mother will have this companion if their spirits are actually there. Anyway, I hope you have a good retreat there.
I'm sure it'll be fabulous. And of course, there are deer that have died nearby, and birds, and probably people, and everything's been turned over and recycled so many times.
Well, I thought that she'd be kept company by insects and plants and animals and birds and
it's very alive in that little region by the pond.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you, my dear.
Well, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, I guess, or a week, or whenever.
Hollyhock is Friday. Oh, you'll see me when I come back here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a Tuesday. Okay. The sun has definitely moved southward significantly. I get to see it against the trees across the street.
Hi, Robert. It's Catherine. Hi, Sangha.
Hello, Catherine.
Hi. I just feel very motivated to say thank you, a profound sense of gratitude for the Sangha, for your work with us, and for the Sangha. How much it means to me, how deeply I feel it in the connection. So I just want to say Thank
Me
you.
too. Me too. Hello, Kat.
Hi, Robert. Hi, everybody. So I have a question that my instinct is to ask you privately, which means I want to ask it publicly in case anyone else has this question. Um, I'm about to go, I feel teary, as you know, with you on the retreat. And I'm feeling very scared of having panic attacks on the retreat.
Mm.
And I am wondering, and I feel really embarrassed to ask this publicly, but also if I'm having this, I've learned through years of asking what I consider to be dumb personal questions that when I'm asking them, usually other people are like, yep, that's a good question. So I am wondering if you could talk about that.
Yes. If you're having a panic attack, let me know. And I will come and sit and hold your hand. Or do whatever else could be useful. And I would say this at the time, something like, well, these are unpleasant feelings. Notice where they are in your body. Or maybe let's go walk fast. Or maybe do jumping jacks for a few minutes to see if getting some cardiovascular exercise will make a difference. Because in your life journey, panic attacks are something that happens. And so having a panic attack really consciously could be really, really helpful. Panic attacks have not been my thing. Depression has been much more my thing. But there was a time when my best friend died in the middle of the night. I got the phone call at 12:30. His daughter called, and we'd been buddies for 13 years. We played racquetball every Friday morning, and then we went and had lunch, and it was just a standing date, and we skied together. And when all my other men friends left me when I had my son, that was so interesting. They all disappeared except for Bob. He said, well, you're a father now. I'll make time for you and your son. But anyway, then I started having trouble sleeping, and I would get up, I'd be awake in the night, and I'd eat, and I'd feel awful, but I didn't know it. And then it finally occurred to me something, well, this is after about a month. I said, I'm just going to go back to my meditation spot and sit there. And all hell broke loose. It was a full-blown panic attack. And then I started having flashbacks, memories of, I hadn't made the connection with the call in the middle of the night and his dying. So I don't have a lot of experience with panic attacks personally, but I know that being with such an event, similarly, an event of extraordinary grief, of sadness, of rage, of that the purpose of retreat one of the purposes is to provide a safe container within which one can have experiences that previously there hasn't been enough support for, in order to feel them fully and to discover ultimately that they're not personal. They're real, they're real as anything else. But so I think and I am available, and Don McEachern, who will be assisting me, is also available. and who's a lovely man, big-hearted man. So I hope you will reach out if you run into something like that. And you may not. You might get there with no studying to do and just realize, holy shit, I don't even have to think. I can just, and you might have a bliss reaction for days. We don't know.
Well, my kids will be there, so the odds are very high of a bliss reaction.
Your kids, you mean your inner kids?
No, they'll be there.
But
my living children are not coming to Hollyhock. My babies.
Right. So how's that for an answer?
It's a great answer. Thank you. I woke up this morning, obviously, with some panic, and I had an oh shit moment of, and I'm leaving in 4 days. And
something else that I don't know. Did you get the message? I had Hollyhock send out something, or they were going to send it out for me, 2 documents.
We got an email with the schedule, but I only saw one document in that.
You haven't seen? Okay, there'll be another one coming. I have what to expect on retreat, and one of the things that I speak about, and that is medications. And I encourage people, if you take medications, take your medications.
Oh, yeah.
And people sometimes, this has happened 2 or 3 times, a person starts having a bad migraine, and they have the medication for it, but they figure they're gonna I'm gonna spiritually go through it, and they wind up leaving the retreat. Even this happened because, so our psychotropic medications are very helpful and important. And yeah, same with fasting. I encourage people don't fast. Eat lightly, perhaps, but it's such a fast to fast from activity, from listening to music and the news and all those things we don't do on retreat. Reading. So, good question. A compassionate question shared with all.
Also, just really quick, I just want to thank everyone. When I share stuff like that, it feels so painful and vulnerable. And then I get so many beautiful private messages from people just being like, yes, I've been there. Or here, let's talk about it. Or Denise, I love you so much, because Denise is like, put your arms over your head. It helps. I'm like, I've never done that. That sounds so great. And it's just such a joy. This group is such a joy and a miracle in my life. And so I just wanted to thank you.
It's a good thing. Well, is anybody sitting with something, any that you want to share before we go? I have a long honeydew list this morning. The honeydew this and do that. Jennifer, we're actually taking an Uber to the airport together at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. She's leaving. She's going to visit her mother in Florida, who's in a memory care place. And that's kind of fraught because they're having such terrible COVID. She's concerned they may not let her in to visit her mother. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, she's made a long list. So I'm going to dig into that this morning. So.
Hi, Robert. It's Carol.
Hello, Carol.
Hello. I just wanted to say I've been thinking a lot about the cycle of birth, life and death lately. My youngest daughter is going to be having her second baby in November, which is very exciting. But we also have another friend on the island who has recently been diagnosed with ALS, which is such a
beast.
a very challenging challenging disease. And so he's looking at having a medical assisted death sometime, perhaps later this month. My husband, Michael's been visiting him regularly, massaging his feet, which has really been helping him in many ways with his breathing. But we've arranged to have a space at the natural burial part of the cemetery, and organizing to have someone dig the grave, and my husband's going to be making him a simple coffin, and so he may be the second natural burial in the Quadra Cemetery. And
wow.
So we're just kind of all on hold, holding him in compassion, and anyway, I just, yeah, interesting time of life, this stage of life.
Yeah.
Where so many of us are dealing with moving into whatever that next phase is. And I just wanted to share that, and thank you to everybody for being here.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you. Blessings to all.
So, dear friends, let us go out on Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. What a blessing. May all beings receive all blessings. Everything we need for our full awakening. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. My heart and your heart have been friends for a very long time. Goodbye, dear ones. See you soon. Oh, I hope.
Yes. Have a wonderful retreat.
Thank you. Bye-bye.